Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Tuesday Lives. I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I was not here last week. And so I'm just making sure all my settings are good. So if when you come on live, let me know that you can hear me. And because everything on my desk got moved around, and I want to make sure it is streaming correctly. All right, so I think I'm good. I have a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. Um, so let's see. I am going to show you some I always call it zinnia paper, but it's actually called flowering zinnias paper because it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to make sure, not going to make sure, I'm going to use it in a fun project. Hi, Nancy. All right, I want to make sure I'm good. And Deborah, hello. I don't recognize your name, Deborah. You might be new to me. Hello and welcome. I'm Christine Josty, and this is Mail Something Pretty, and I'm excited to show you some projects today. So like I was saying, I was away last week. I was in Arizona, and oh, good, Kim. I planned my project before I went away, and everything's in the basket, and I haven't even looked at the basket. So not only is it going to be a surprise to you, it's going to be a surprise to me because I don't know what I forget what I'm making. But I do know that I'm using the new Zinnias paper. And so let me actually hop over to my desk here. Here we go. All right. I'm just seeing if it looks crooked. No, I'm good. So I'm going to show you this paper, but I'm also going to show you these purses. So this is the paper, I think minus one of the sheets because I was using that for a club project. Just look how vibrant and cheery and fun. I am a gardener and I love flowers, and zinnias are like the perfect flower to have in every garden because the more you cut, the more blooms you get. And so they're awesome flowers. So these are the backgrounds. It's just so vibrant and awesome. Purple. And like I said, there's one page that has some green leaves and then some stripes, but I don't have that here because I used it for a project. But if you order this paper, actually, let me put that on here. If you order this paper, I think it's by March 28th, I will send you a tutorial on how to make these purses. And so they are super cute. You can do them, I'll show you some different colors, but you can do them any color you want. And I did a little Velcro so they open up, and you can make the little 3x3 cards fit inside or a little gift, but they're so sweet. And I did it so it's got finished edges so you don't see all the mechanics on the inside. This one I was saying a club last night with the tassels. It reminds me of my grandmother because she always had tassels on her shoes and her purse. And so I think that's cute. And then this one is done with a bow. So there's different options to make what I call the closures for the purse. And then these are the prototypes that I made in different colors, but the styles are all the same. And I did them with magnets, but you can actually see the magnet is separating from the glue dot. So I think the Velcro works better. So I did the tassel one, this one, and this one. So it really doesn't matter what colors you use. So that tutorial will be sent to you if you order this paper with me, or you can purchase the tutorial. If you are a demonstrator and you already have the paper, you can just order the tutorial to purchase. All right, so let's get to it. Let's see what I'm making, because let me actually go back here so in case anyone writes anything. Hi, Laura. Hi, Cindy. Okay. This is my basket I prepared. So let's see what we're going to make. Let's carefully unpack it because I think I actually was pretty organized when I did it. So we're going to make 2 cards. I'm going to keep those separate. And we're going to use the hummingbird. There. We're going to use the thoughtful expressions. I've told you before, I love hummingbirds. So we're going to use that. I'm going to show you how I colored it. And I know that different people or different areas have different hummingbirds, but I'm going to color them the way my hummingbirds are because I don't know any other way. I'm just trying to get everything out of my basket here. That's my markers, some gems. Okay, so let me move this aside. And I also have another basket behind me with another card. I think I'm doing a card. I'm doing a live with my friend Anne, my demonstrator friend Anne from Australia, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, this Thursday. So that's all packed and ready to go. And I forget what I'm making too. So it's kind of fun. All right, here we go. So these are the dies that go with the stamp set. You could even get the dies and just on their own without the stamp set, because you could use this flower and you could use the leaves in these. So if you only wanted that, but I do think they're pretty together. Hi, Anita. Thanks for hopping on. And then I'm also going to use these perennial postage dies. So I think I have everything ready for pre-cut. Let's see. I made this little kind of cheat sheet. Back when I did an open house in February, I made this. And so there's different ways of coloring a hummingbird, but I'm just going to show you exactly what I did. All right, I think I'm making this card first. So here's the card. And what I like, so I love this paper, but it was a little busy competing against with these hummingbirds. So what I did is I toned it down with putting some vellum there. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And then that's the inside. So it's just pretty. Enjoy your day. Can be for really any reason. Almost any reason. All right, so I'm going to start with, this is Pebbled Path. And let me see, I embossed it with that, I think it's called Timber embossing folder. You could totally leave it plain, but I love texture on cards. And I just think, I don't even know if you can see it, but it adds just a little bit. Hi, Karen, for sneaking in. All right, so here are my pieces. So what I did is I already cut this. You can kind of see the fun little edges from the perennial dies, and I used the second. Nope, I used the biggest one. The next card, I'm going to use the other side. So I used the biggest one, and I already cut it. I figured you didn't need to see me do that. So that is cut. And then I labeled this. This is a piece of vellum, and it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and that's going to sit right on top like that, because I want you to see a little bit of the edges around. I don't want the whole thing to be hidden. All right, so that is going to go over here. And look, I already colored in my inside. And let's see, I cut out, I think I'm going to be daring. I cut out, oh, I know what I'm showing you. Uh-oh, I hope I can show it to you. Oh, no, this is, oh, I can't. All right, so Chris, I was talking with before I went away. This is the whole purpose of me making this card, not just the paper. She wanted to know how to do reverse stamping. And so this hummingbird stamp is like this. And so she wanted to know how to get a stamp in the opposite direction. So I'm going to show you that. That's the whole purpose. Okay, it's coming back to me. I told you. I forgot what I made. And I have extra, you'll see why I have some extra plain white hummingbirds set there. And I need, luckily, I have some extra paper up here. All right, I'm good to go now. All right, so I'm going to just stamp I'm using Memento Black because I'm going to color in the hummingbird with my blends markers. Does that fit on here? All right, so this is just a straight one-step stamping. Normal stamping. And so I want to get this bird flying in the other direction. So what I'm going to do is I already cut with the dies this hummingbird in white paper. So what I'm going to do is flip it over, and we're going to stamp on this reversed die. But I can't really stamp on it because that's not going to work. So this is what I'm going to use. This is the silicone mat. It might be called the silicone craft sheet. It is in the section of the catalog, kind of with the simple chamois, kind of the cleaning supplies, cutting supplies. So this is what I'm going to use. And I have 2 in case I make a mistake. Or I can show you twice. How's that? That sounds better. So I'm actually going to stamp directly on this mat, and then I'm going to use it to stamp on this reverse image. So I probably re-ink this so it's nice and dark. So I'm going to stamp straight on my mat like that. I'm going to lift it up, turn it over. and I'm going to place it directly. I'm going to put my head in the way so I can see. So you can kind of see right through the mat. Can you see? Oh, yeah, I guess you can kind of see that. You can see through the mat to get that cut out. Now, if you just wanted it on straight paper like this, you can just stamp it directly on the paper. You could always cut it with scissors, or if you just wanted it on plain piece of paper. But I wanted this one to be cut out. So I'm just pressing down and I get an image like that. I'm going to do it again because you see how this is pretty close to the edge and I have a little white space. I'm going to show you how to prevent that. So I'm going to turn that backwards. I could clean that off if I had a chamois up here, but I don't. So I'm just going to use the other section. I'm not going to turn it over because then I'll end up with ink in my fingers. All right. Ink that good. I'm going to go directly on my mat again. Oops. Lift that up. And I'm going to look again. I'm going to line up its beak first and press down. And then press down the wings. And then you can actually kind of shimmy this over a little bit. Or if you needed to stretch it, you can stretch it a little bit. All right, let's see how that one does. Oh yeah, so that lined up a little bit better. Now, these birds are fluttering and everything, so it doesn't have to be exactly on there, but pretty good. And I pressed a little harder, so that one got a little darker. Now, it's not as dark as my initial one because you're kind of doing that two-step or the second generation stamping, but it's not too bad. So those are our two hummingbirds right there. So that one's already cut out. This one I have to cut out because I don't have one already done. Luckily, I brought up my machine. So we'll do that really quick. All right, so here's my die. My machine. Oh, good. I'm glad it's new to you, Laura. My place. And it's a fun one. And so I think there are other ways of doing reverse stamping, but that's the way that I know. I'm sure there are other ways of doing it. But it's nice, especially for, like, I find animals, sometimes you want to get, facing each other. So on this particular die, there's this tiny dot right there. And so you can kind of see the black from the beak underneath it. So you know it's lined up. So some of the dies have those little holes so you can kind of see through it. There we go. So here are our two hummingbirds. And now we're going to color them. So I brought up, I have, let's see, granny apple green, and you can use all sorts of colors. And that's what I show on this chart. I'm going to kind of make this one. The granny apple green, I'm using the light red. I also have some, I did. Light smoky slate. And I also brought up some soft seafoam and some bronze. I don't know why I brought up the bronze. Oh, maybe for the beak. All right, so I'm just going to color them kind of the same way. So my hummingbirds, my male hummingbirds, they're the kind we have are ruby-throated hummingbirds. So the males have a ruby-colored throat. So I'm going to do that versus the females are more a duller color. And I think that's so that he will attract her. That's why they have the colors. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I have somewhere, I know it's here, I saw it, a black Stampin' Right marker. Hi, Trudy from Maryland, welcome. I have a black Stampin' Right marker. So what I'm going to do is just do the same as I did on this card. So I'll make the one that we did reverse stamping. I'll do with the throat. So I'm going to actually draw a little line, an extra line right on there, because that's going to give me more definition. I'm just scribbling a line. More definition of where to put that red throat. And let me color on this because you might be able to see it a little bit better. And so a lot of my coloring is going to be kind of like scribbling. All right, and so you can go do as much or as little red as you want. I'm going to go like that. Actually, I'll have it go all the way there. And then I'm going to soften it a little bit with some gray. So this smoky slate, I'm actually going to go right over that line that I just made with the gray and up here on its head. And that will just soften. You can even go on top of it if you want it to have a little bit of a duller look. And then you just color. So you can choose if you want to do a lighter color first or a darker color first. So this is that granny apple green, and you can go right over that gray. You can even bring it down a little bit. And then I'm just gonna follow the line. So there's like circles here, here, and then on the tail, just kind of following the lines. And it's okay if you have some white, because it's the birds have some white on their chests. And so this is some of the darker color. There's some dots here. I'm just kind of following the lines. You see, I'm just kind of really just scribbling. A little bit darker here. And then you could be done. Or if you want to go back with a lighter color, I'm actually going to go, since I have it here, fill in some of these with my soft seafoam. Let's go right on top of it. It's a lighter green, but it's still green. I'm going to leave this area here white, but I am going to go right where that gray and that red was. And I love the markers because you really can have fun like blending them all together. And that's just some of the light color green again. And I'm actually gonna, because it's kind of a line here with the gray, go over that with a little green. And then I had that bronze for its beak. I don't know what color they are. All right, so that's my male. That was pretty quick. And the female, I'm gonna do fairly similar, except I'm just not gonna put red. So I'll actually start with, here, it's kind of like a dull green, that soft sea foam. Unfortunately, the girls are a little duller in color. So my hummingbirds come to my house every May 7th. It's crazy, but every May 7th they arrive. So I have to make sure my feeders are out by then. One year I didn't realize it, and they came and they were like flying by my window asking for their food. It was kind of funny. So all right, so put some of the lighter. Really, it's kind of, these are easy because you just kind of follow the lines that are there. You don't have to stress about it. And I'll just put a little dark in there, maybe on these dots, a little bit in the wing, the tail. All right, so there's my oh, need the beak. There is my female. All right, so there are my two cute little hummingbirds. So that was fast coloring. Those aside, I don't remember. I think I'm coloring my next card too. All right, so let's put here's the sample. That's what I'm going to do. So now it's really just putting it together. So I had already pre-cut the papers. If you came on late, I cut the Zinnias paper, flowering Zinnias paper with the perennial postage dies. I used the biggest one. Whoops. And then I cut my vellum, because if I put these guys right on top of that, it works, but it's a little bit, yeah, it's really busy. It doesn't really work. It's busy. But if I add the vellum, it softens it up a little bit. And so the vellum is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. All right, so I'm just going to put those together. Oh, the vellum, actually, because it's see-through, which is the point, you can also see adhesive through. So this is how I usually use vellum. Before I put the whole card together, I put it so that's kind of where I want my birds to be. So I'm going to, I say this every week, I'm almost out of dimensionals and I need to bring more up. So I'm going to put dimensionals on my hummingbird. Like that. And I'll put, actually, I think I did it. I raised up the female, and I'm actually going to do the male flat. I'm not going to raise him up. So in that case, I'm just going to use glue dots. I do not generally like to use glue when I use vellum because the glue has moisture, has water in it, and that warps the vellum. So I'm going to use glue dots to put him down. I don't want warped vellum. All right, 3 will do it. Actually, I'm going to angle him up a little bit because I'm going to put some words right there. All right, so now what I can do is I can turn that over, and now I see where that is. So you're not going to have, I'm going to put more glue dots there because that way it's hidden. You know what I mean? Like if you're not going to see it through because it's already something on top of it. And you don't need tons. I'll do 3 for each bird. Oops. All right. And then I'm going to put this on top of my, like that. It really does soften it up a little bit. And then, just looking, okay, I'm going to do the, let's see. Well, actually, I'll tie the string. I had retired string. This is the evening evergreen, so that's what I used. You could use linen thread. Maybe I'll do that just so you can see different color. I have different color threads up here. So I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm actually going to go a little bit under the hummingbird because this one's a little bit lower than my sample. Okay, I made it too long, but that's all right. I'm going to tie a little bow. And I'm going to cut. Okay, I love how it's curly. All right, and so then I'm just going to stamp my little greeting here, which I have. Enjoy your day. Actually, I'm not going to do it on that. And I use the pebbled path because it matches the card base. And that Enjoy Your Day comes with this set. And I'm just going to that over a little bit. And I'm going to use, I've been using these foam strips a lot for the words. It works. I'm just going to put it on top because then it's going to hover over the string. So I find if you put dimensionals on the string, then the whole thing gets wobbly. I'm going to have it overhang, but that will be okay because we have the card base. And now I can put glue and we can just put that whole thing on top. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Karen. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's definitely more of a bright card, the bright colors, but I toned it down by using the pebbled path. I played with lots of different colors, and I really liked the pebbled path kind of as it's a nice neutral. And then the inside, I've already stamped them. Right, I use the color. I kind of found the colors from the zinnia on the paper, and so I don't really know what this flower is supposed to be, but I turned it in to look like a zinnias. Because flowers have that flexibility. And then I used for the background color here is Flirty Flamingo because that's in the color pack as well. All right, so there you go. So a fun card. So here one has the green string. Well, I might trim that down a little bit. And then one has the linen thread, but it's kind of fun. So that's one way of you can make your male ruby-throated hummingbird. All right, so I have another card. Let's see if what kind of pieces I did. Karen, I have not even looked at the list. I hope so. If anyone knows, Karen asked, is this set being carried over into the upcoming new annual catalog? That list just came out today. I printed it, but I haven't even looked at it. So I have no idea. I hope so. All right, so here are my pieces. So here's the next card. So this one is similar in that I used the perennial postage dies, but I used a smaller size down, and then I used this paper. It's fun, and it's a little bit more mute. It's bright, but it's more muted because it's kind of tone on tone. So I didn't think I needed the vellum, but I did have a nice lemon lime zest background because those two together would be way too busy. So it breaks it up. And then for this neutral, I used crumb cake, but I still use the pebbled path ribbon and the linen thread, which is a similar color to crumb cake. So I'm going to do that reverse stamping again in case you guys missed the beginning of the video. I just did this one, but in the reverse. Certainly you could do it. This card, just having the hummingbird go the other way. So my die is this way. So I cut out of white, but I'm going to flip it over and we're going to stamp on this side. So how I did that, let's see, you can kind of see remnants of my hummingbird. I'm going to stamp directly on top of my, find a stamp. I'm going to stamp directly on my silicone pad here, my craft mat. I always forget the proper name. And I'm using, oh, the stays on ink would not work. The stays on ink would stamp this and then it's there. It's permanent. So if you're using black, you need to use the Memento, which you want to use anyways for the blends markers, or you can use any regular ink, any colored ink. So I stamped it on there. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to line it up, press it down, and then give it a good press or rub. If you rub, just make sure it kind of stays in one place. It doesn't move. But you do want to give it a good press so that transfers that ink from the craft mat to the paper. It's like magic. And there you go. So now I have 3 birds on here, and I will wash that off after the video. All right. Just seeing what Karen wrote. I saw the list last night, but they were sketchy on the mini catalog. What is Karen going? In my email today, I sent lists of both catalogs, so it should be on there. Or it should, if it's not on the list, then it's carrying over. If it's on the list, then it's retiring. I did not go to the on stage event, so I don't have the new catalog to look. I have to wait until it's sent to me. All right, so I don't have to worry about, I can use the glue on this because I'm not using the vellum. So I can just kind of put this together. And I'm actually going to put this, here's my base, this is my crumb cake. So this is just a single regular layer. And how I figured out the layer for that color, I just measured, I just smudged it. I measured the size of my perennial postage and just made it a little bit bigger. But in case you're curious, it's 3.5 by 4 3/4 is the layer of the, oh shoot. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to glue that on because of my ribbon. That's okay. We will just make the ribbon a little smaller. We'll just put it on this one. Actually, no, we won't because it's going to be too small. We'll do something else. All right. We'll make it look different. Now I'll just glue the whole thing on there. All right, so that's inside, that's the inside. Oh, good, I already stamped that. And that's in the You're in My Thoughts Today is in that same stamp set. So rather than, what I did is I just put a piece and I tucked it under, and then just tied a knot there, or you know, knot in a bow. But I already glued it on, so I'm just gonna do this instead. All right, I've been doing actually this type of little embellishment lately. So I just doubled it over longer than I needed it. I'm just going to tie the linen thread. I'm just going to tie a bow, or not. You don't want to do a bow. Let's see, my fingers aren't working right. Oh, here's a little trick. Take a clear block or something and just hold it down. It's much easier. And now I can tie my bow. Oops. Try that again. Because it's curly, it just came right off. I've been out of card making practice because I didn't even touch anything all week being away. All right. So I just did a knot, and now I'll do a bow. So that stamp holding it in place really makes a difference. And then I'll just trim that. And this I'll put on here. It's a little bit long. Okay, like that. And here's another trick. To get this ribbon on top to stay, you can use tear and tape. I'm just gonna push down a piece right there. Take out the backing. Oops. And then I'm just gonna lay that right on top. And I'm okay with that flapping down because then I'm gonna have that go on top like that. And I'll use my foam strips again. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks for joining in. And to everyone who's watching a replay, thanks for joining in. I'll show you the cards. If you came on late, this is the second card. And so this is just going to hop on like that. So it's not blocking the ribbon because I just attached it on the top. And then, oh, we never colored it in. So we'll do a quick color. The hummingbird's going to go like that. So I put my markers. So I'll just make this one female because could do male, but it might contrast with the pink there. Let's see. I think I started with and you can use whatever colors you have. For the most part, I've been using granny apple green and then highlighting with either something lighter or something darker. So that's just like a scribble. And then I'm going to use the lighter granny apple green. I'm really just following those lines. And I'm not coloring the whole thing because as the bird moves and flies, you know, you see the different colors. That's the light granny apple green. Here's the dark. So I'll do a little bit less. So it just kind of highlights here. And then if you want, you can go back and just kind of blend them together a little bit with this is the lightest color I used. And I'm okay leaving a little white because they do have some white on them. There you go. Oh, the beak. I keep forgetting the beak. So pretty fast coloring of that hummer. All right, and then I will use dimensionals. Let's see. I should probably cut them. I'm okay with having messy dimensionals under my things because no one sees them. Okay, and then that will go right like that. And then the inside, I did something a little different. Usually sometimes I'll do a skinny little strip, but I kind of have these wider strips left over from my paper. So I love these two colors together. The Mellow Mambo and the Crumb Cake are pretty. So I think it's like 1.5 inches. Could be 2 inches. That, and then I'll just put this on top. And so it's just a nice a variation of a decorated inside. Like that. Oop, that's crooked. That was just better. All right, so those two are pretty similar, except for now you have the loop, and then, or you do it this way. Oh, and gems. That's why I had my diamonds. Where did they go? Here they are. These ones, let's see, these ones I did different sizes. These ones, that's all one size, so that's what we'll do. There we go. So those are those two. Yeah, Nancy, it's kind of fun. So I might be doing that more rather than just a straight, just like just the plain white. And these are the other two that I made. Like that. And then that inside is more traditional flower color. So there you go. So those are the colors I made. Oh, colors. The cards, the Zinnia Hummingbird cards. They're just fun. And today's the first day of spring. A little early for my hummers to come, but they'll be coming shortly. And then if you order, I showed this at the beginning, but if you order the Zinnias paper using the host code that's on the screen by March 28th, I'll send you a tutorial and you can print it or you just keep it saved on your computer, but it's photographs and directions on how to make these fun paper purses. So I have 3 variations. They're all kind of made the same. I just kind of top them differently, but they're fun. So, and then you can make, you don't have to use a Zinnia paper. You can use whatever you want, but it's kind of fun project, especially for like Mother's Day or weddings or showers or whatever. So, all right. Let me put myself back on. And I'll read the comment. Oh, good. Oh, I love how we have some new names on here. So everyone, hi, I'm Christine Josty. Thanks for joining. I'm live every Tuesday at this time, just about every Tuesday. I wasn't here last week, but almost every Tuesday. And so I love having live people and new people. So thanks for introducing yourself. I will be live this Thursday, once a month. My friend Anne and I, and she's from Australia, we go live together and it's a hoot. And we have, some people tell us it's for like a show, but we each make a card based on a similar, either a theme or a color combination or a product or whatever it is. And we don't show each other what the project is until we're live together. So that's kind of fun. And we may or may not compete with each other a little bit to kind of show each other different things, but it's all in good fun. And so that is Thursday, this Thursday in 2 days, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm glad you guys like the cards. Thank you. I love them because I like bright and cheery, and I just love hummingbirds. So the Zinnia paper was a favorite of mine, so I'm really happy with it. And the Zinnia stamp set, I think it's called simply Zinnias, is now available. It was back ordered for a short time, but it is available. The only things of that whole suite that's not available are the little adhesive back gems, but you can use anything. You don't have to use the ones that they said, but everything else is there. Oh, Karen, you're so sweet. Thank you. Karen likes my videos. Thank you. Yeah, so I think that's what I had for you today. If you don't receive my emails, please get on my list. I send them out Tuesday morning. So that's one that went out this morning. And you can just do that at mailsomethingpretty.com/sign up. And yeah, so I think that's all I had for you today. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you Thursday night. Anne and I have some fun things. And I think our theme is simple stamping, which is a challenge for both of us. So thanks so much. I will see you guys later.